All right, everybody, welcome to the pre-market analysis. We're going to go ahead and jump in here. Good to be here this morning. Good to see some faces. Here upon the reclaim, we got 106. So not every squeeze is equal, and that's why we just trade level to level, right? Because not all are going to be just massive, like open, green to green days, But right now we're seeing it here again where we did reclaim 60, 78. We came up, we've back tested now, and we're pushing back up here again. So what would be required again, 61.84 and 62.12 has been the area that oil has maintained around. All right, it's like if we look, oil is really painting just a big range here. So if we look at the range from the high and the lows, all right, we're painting, it's a 328 tick range. All right. So I think at the midpoint now, I don't know if I'd really want to take any trades between 62.12 and 61.84. I mean, definitely any price in between here, I wouldn't really be interested in. What could be interesting would be, again, the refailure of 61.84. All right. Every time we've failed 61.84, all right, we have sold off. All right. And again, you got to be just aware of what oil is. Oil is very politically based, very currency based. So if Trump says something about tariffs on oil today, all right, or on anything, really on anything, that's going to cause oil to make some massive movements. Okay, the other option is we wait for 62.12, because again, every time we've resisted or failed 62.12, there's been a sell-off. All right, so we can trade 62.12 to 61.84. I mean, that's only 25 ticks there, right? But we can trade this all day back and forth, where we could sell here and then sell a portion here. It's probably going to come up and back test it again and fail again. The other thing we can look for is the clearing of 62.12. Again, if we clear 62.12, every time we've cleared it, we've either gotten a pop or we've gotten a continuation. All right. So in my opinion, I'm not taking any sells below unless we come below here. All right. So I want to see a failure of 58.75 to 70. All right. And ideally feeling this previous low. All right. For us to get into a breakdown. All right. But again, all the price action so far has been extremely bullish. All right. Ultimately, with the retake of 58.50 here, the retake of 58.40, 34. I mean, we've retaken every single previous low. All right. So this is very bullish to the upside. All right. So what we can wait for at the market open here again is any kind of pull down. We wait for some level acceptance, either at 85 or at 75. We wait for some level acceptance around there. And then again, we're looking for a bust through above these highs to get up to 59.25. 59.25 is the macro target. Anything above 59.25 is bonus. All right. Anything above there. All right. If we look at the indicator here, I mean, we're kind of right in the middle of the indicator, and we have the high up here actually at 59.15. All right. 59.15 is the higher end of the indicator. All right. The low is way down here at like 52. Way down here. All right, so we got a pretty good spread on the indicator today. Well, actually, let's measure this out and see where we're at. Actually, not too bad. 250. That's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good medium day where we could, it's not too slow, not too quick. All right, so again, we're getting a little bit of a pull down right here. All right, so again, if we do fail 58.75 to 70 is where I'd be a little bit more cautious on sells. They'd be looking for us to fail here and come down to 58.50. So I'm looking for failure, back test,
is especially if it's not between like 11 and 2 o'clock. Like gold, it's literally not worth trading, I feel like, after 1 o'clock 90% of the time. Sometimes it makes a move at the end of the trading session, but it's like you look right here, up to the 27th. I mean, even after 9 o'clock here, it really didn't do a whole lot. And so this right here was, I mean, in my opinion, pretty much the move of the day on gold, this retake. So what this confirmed was a continuation, right? And it was a pretty good take, right? 246 ticks. But it confirmed a continuation by the retake of the previous low. All right. So this was like a bullish confirmation. All right. Not only did we retake 32.92, which wasn't really a zone at the time, but we retook 33.09. All right. And then we retook 33.22. So it was kind of like bullish move after bullish move after bullish move. And obviously the retake here is really what gave us the bullish sign. So basically anything in between here. Now the only thing we really had was a back test here, right? Because obviously this was at 7:30 when we cleared this in the morning. So unless you were trading at 7:30, the only time really to get this was here. And I don't think this was probably really the only confluence we have here is the back test of this high. Like you can see, it almost came down to the tick right there on gold. That's pretty much that's the only thing we really had, other than to say that, okay, the bias was pretty strong that it was going to be a bullish day just because of this reclaim, because we reclaimed every previous low. All right, so on gold today, we're still in the same zone. So the same exact thing that was said yesterday can be said today. Now in the overnight session, we came down and we failed